Hi everybody. Today I'm going to talk about chronic fatigue. This is something that plagues a lot of people, especially women. And oftentimes is perplexing as to why do I feel tired all the time? Do you feel tired even though you feel like you've gotten plenty of sleep? Does your brain feel foggy all day, no matter how many cups of coffee you've had, how much matcha you may have had? And while many people think having low energy is really a byproduct of not getting enough sleep, it can actually be more serious and a symptom of something called chronic fatigue syndrome or adrenal dysfunction. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So some signs of chronic fatigue and adrenal dysfunction often include extreme tiredness that occur following very light movement or exercise, doing very little and still feeling completely exhausted and spent. Sometimes even things like poor decision making, fogginess, or memory loss, cognitive decline may also be signs of a chronic fatigue issue. Now, your adrenal glands play a really central role in your hormone system, as we've talked about before, and when it comes to regulating and reacting to your body's stress levels in particular. And so when they're functioning properly, you're able to effectively adapt and react to the day-to-day stresses that you might encounter. But when they're not functioning properly, it can affect your entire body negatively. You may be craving salty and sweet things along with being really tired. You might have a decreased ability to kind of cope with stressful situations outside of the way you normally would. It can also result in decreased energy, low libido, an increase in PMS and menopausal symptoms, constipation, a weakened immune system, and just not feeling rested after a full night of sleep. And so how do you approach fixing this? Well, follow me for this week's blog where I'll share more about some tips for addressing chronic fatigue syndrome or adrenal dysfunction. But I will give you a spoiler alert that the symptoms, the way to support those symptoms is very similar to many of the other things that we kind of talk about. Toxic relationships, digestive issues, hormone imbalances are often some of the root culprits. So we don't want to just pour more caffeine or things to stimulate the adrenal glands as a band-aid solution. We actually want to understand the root cause for the chronic fatigue and adrenal dysfunction and tackle the issue that way. Have a great week, everybody.